Right, so just a quick update before we lose light. It's 3:30 and I can feel the dark creeping in. You can hear the birds as well when the sun goes down. Because there's no food in here to sustain them, because everything's dead on the forest floor. It's all the canopy blocks everything out. You hear the birds coming back when the sun starts coming down to roost to have a kip. But they'll go out in search of food because I can't use this direct vicinity. But to illustrate my point of things are dead, let's try and find a good spot. Well, can you see right at the top there? Right, the green stops here, right, and that, and then all this, no branches or anything like that. That's because light can only, it's the tree saying, well, there's no point in me having green things to photosynthesize down here because the light don't come down, don't reach down to here, so it drops all of its branches and uses the top section as a light collector. So this is why it's bad for down at the soil. Only thing that can live is mushrooms, because mushrooms are a primary decomposer and they don't need light to photosynthesize to live. They do need some sort of source of food though. I took some photos today. I'll put some on the page of my psyllium jumping out the ground, so I don't even like the ground anymore, and it's trying to get the live trees. Anyway, have a look at the photos on there. So while I've been doing this, I was thinking to myself, how do you put it across that having lots and lots of different types of species of trees is what is best for ecology. Like this area, it's all one tree. It's spruce planted for Christmas trees. So it's similar to, well, it's a monoculture, so it's exactly like a field of corn, all one field of corn. Now, there was I've had a person came up and he's not an outdoorsy person or anything like that, and as soon as he came in, there was some felled trees and stuff like that, and I seen the shock on his face. It was like what have you done? You've killed the forest. And there was a reservoir close to where I live, in the area where I live, called Clough Bottom Reservoir, and it was the same thing. A conifer plantation had been planted to use as a crop at one point, and then when it got to the 1990s there were no money in it and stuff like that, so it all gets abandoned, and who's going to maintain it if there's no money in it? That's just the way things work. Anyway, so I drove past one day and it had all been chopped down, and this was years ago, and it was the same instant reaction. It was like, oh, what have they done? They've chopped the forest down, all them trees. And it just illustrates this shifting baseline syndrome that's going on. It's like, it's a good thing that in people's minds it has that reaction, oh, you have to save nature, but that isn't nature. That is, even though it's, a plant, that's not how nature sets itself up. That's not how a healthy system is. That's not Mother Nature's design. That's man's design for profit. But we're so used to it's just been removed, our natural woodland. We don't know what it looks like anymore. Sure, he had some more stuff but I just wanted to get that on camera because while I was doing this, like Robin Hartford, he's like the King Daddy-o of foragers in the UK, and he explains it like the carpet of green, and So when you're going walking about in your day-to-day, if you haven't like spent time with trying to identify different wild edibles, you'll look outside and you can ask someone and point to a tree and you go, what's that? A tree. What's that? A tree. What's that? A tree. And then like they'll look at the ground, but it's, you know, they've all got different names. You look at the ground and it just looks like a carpet of green. Like you know it's something, but um, uh, it's not a day-to-day sort of thing that we need to survive or anything like that in just normal everyday person, average Joe. So it appears like a carpet of green, but when you get in there, if it's like natural and not a lawn, which is another monoculture like your corn or a forest like this, the only reason then it seems like a carpet of green, and but really it's got loads and loads and loads in any bit of soil that you dig up. There's like 20 weed seeds, and all of them will come up. They'll share the soil at different points in the year, and if you do start foraging, you can go to different patches at different points of the year and collect totally different plants, because that's what the soil wants. It uses the weeds to heal itself and fix things and prepare things for other things coming. I was going to get